Okay, this is going to be the last video here for Access Chapter 4, the last one for Access in general. Then we'll be moving on to PowerPoint after this. We're just going to look at Skill 4.13, Creating Relationships. I have here that little student information system database that I threw together real quickly to kind of show you about relationships and things like that, and how databases work, the relational databases. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to Database Tools and click on the Relationships button, and it shows me my tables that I have, and it shows me some of the relationships there in these tables, and you can kind of move them around. So you can see in my classes table, the class ID is in the grades table points to the ID field in the classes table, and the ID in the rooms table points to the room ID in the classes table. I can drag over other fields and we can kind of link those things together too. Put teachers or other tables, teachers, terms, and students, get them in there. So the ID from the teachers table, if I click on that and drag up to teacher ID, I can add a relationship there. Hit create. Now teachers point to teacher ID. With term, again we got ID. Let's take ID over to term and create a relationship there too. And of course grades, students get grades, so ID over to student ID there. And you can kind of see it gets pretty confusing. You can see how databases can get pretty complex, but we're looking at just basically setting up relationships. I don't expect you to know too much about this or fully understand this. I just kind of want it to be something that maybe if it comes up later on for you, that you'll have seen it and vaguely recall what you've learned here. That's kind of my goal with Access in general, is that you would be able to work with it in the future maybe, and sort of have this little base or this sort of recollection of learning some of these skills in Access if you have to do more complex stuff with databases. This is one of the more complex things. Hopefully you learned a lot in the reports and forms and queries of these Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 lessons, and I feel like maybe you gained some knowledge into Access. So that's it for Access. This is Skill 4.13. Your code word is HAIR, H-A-I-R.